Welcome back to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. Now, about a month ago, we covered the case of Tupac's murder in which P Diddy was arrested, and it was seen in multiple interviews to be pointing the finger at P Diddy, saying, this is the guy who offered me all the money to go and get it done. And clearly, P Diddy didn't feel like the money had been delivered. Apparently, P Diddy does have money for his ex, who has just launched a $30 million lawsuit at him for a lot of horrible things. And somehow, within 24 hours, P Diddy's came up with the cash and settled. I'm not saying he's guilty, but he settled it quicker than Michael Jackson settled with the first kid who accused him. Make of that what you will. Now, in terms of what he's actually accused of, let's get into the details, because after this, you ain't going to be listening to Bad Boys for Life and nodding your head the same way. I love More Money, More Problems. It's a great song. I don't like him anymore. Now, the document with all of the allegations is 35 pages long and has a trigger warning on the front. We're not going to get into every single thing, but I'm going to give you the main bits. Obviously, some of you remember Cassie from the big single she had produced by P Diddy, Me and You. She had a few big singles. She was a star on the rise. Among some of the serious allegations were that P Diddy sex trafficked Cassie to male prostitutes to fulfill his voyeurism fantasies in hotels at his home. Now, he met this girl when she was young, and he's sitting there basically masturbating and forcing her to do this with these guys while he films it. When she tried to leave him, he raped her. Often he would punch, beat, kick and stomp on her, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes and bleeding. So after that relationship ended, she was romantically involved with Kid Cudi. Diddy threatened to blow his car up. Now you're thinking, all right, bit dramatic. His car actually did blow up a few days later. So connect the dots. As part of the psychological pressure, he would also make her carry his gun in her purse when they'd go to events and stuff like that, which he didn't want to do. He also got her hooked on drugs because he himself wanted those drugs. So he would then get her hooked on them and make her go and collect the prescriptions. So what a guy. When he met her, she was 19 and he was 37. He signed her to the record label and basically just had complete and utter control over her entire life. So not only was she in a romantic relationship, he also essentially owned her as an artist, and he's famous for treating his artists like shit. She would have been no exception to that. And just going back to the prostitution thing, it wasn't like that would just be for one night either. This apparently lasted days while the drug bender just carried on going and going. It wouldn't have been over quickly for her. So he would call these escapades freak-offs, and he would tell her that this was our little secret no one can know. And by the end of it, she would be in such a bad way that she would need an IV with fluids just to recover from them. Now, ordinarily, I'd refrain from saying if I think this is true or not, because at the end of the day, I wasn't there, I don't know. But the man paid her off in record time. That is not a coincidence. And this woman was with him for a long time. And when you look at the character of P Diddy over the years, he's always been power mad in every way. He treats his artists like slaves. Even Biggie was the star of the show, the center of attention, the gangster. And P Diddy couldn't help but force his way in to the limelight, always. Even Suge Knight made a joke about it, like, you know, you want a real record producer who doesn't want to be all in the videos, come to me, because this guy is trying to steal your spotlight. So he's definitely power mad, and Cassie isn't even the first woman he's been with to accuse him of this sort of shit. His ex-girlfriend Gina also accused him of stomping on her stomach and punching her in the head. In 2019, she said she was repeatedly physically assaulted.
We were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground, and then he like stood over me. So I was like laying on my back and he stood over me and he started like punching me like this. Like he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head, and I was just like covering my face. And he did that and then after he got done doing that, he like, cause he was standing, his legs were like in between me. So he stomped on my stomach like really hard, and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, and he kept hitting me, and I was like pleading to him, like, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head.
Horrible to listen to that. This girl was also 21 at the time that she met him. She was with him for 5 years, and there is an overlap between her and Cassie. I think he was seeing them both at the same time. So literally beating up both these young women. I mean, the guy's a lunatic. And his old security guard has also spoke out about his problems being violent with women.
It was always abuse between those two, physically. But Kim got tired of it and she wasn't taking her. If he put his hands on her, she was going at him.
So the bodyguard makes a reference to this lady here. This is Kim Porter, who was P. Diddy's baby mama. She was getting beaten up by him. She'd had enough of it. She actually fought back with a corkscrew and managed to take a chunk out of his arm. So well done to her. It's a horrendous situation for these women to have been in.
When it comes to Kim Porter, it seems like when she was alive, he was probably taking her for granted. And after she passed away, he have a regret. Like, man, when she was alive, I should have, been in a full committed relationship with her. It seems like he got a lot of regret when it comes to Kim Porter now.
That face, that bodyguard isn't buying any of it.
Bro, come on, stop the bullshit, man. He got you fooled too, huh? You understand? Kim know all his deepest secrets. You understand? Kim knew why he was using the butt plugs. Man, Kim probably told all that shit in her book. You understand? That up and got missing the day she died. You understand what I'm saying? See, I could say that because I used to see them in action with other couples and other people. You understand what I'm saying? I was told to watch the door.
This is taking a turn. Kim had been writing a tell-all book about P. Diddy and then dies suddenly from pneumonia. Now, her friends have come out since then and said that they completely believe P. Diddy was in some way behind her death because, let's be real, if this man is such a psycho that he's not afraid to beat the crap out of his own women in his life, then if you're going to expose him to the world, it's either going to be him or you. In a psycho like that's mind, and it's not going to be him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did kill her. We've seen with the Tupac situation, there is no lengths this man won't go to get what he wants, let alone protect himself. That's an easy decision in the mind of a nutcase like him, in my opinion. Now, that's pure speculation, but whatever she was writing was never released. So there's definitely a reason to wonder. Even going back to the death of the notorious B.I.G, there is speculation there because prior to Biggie's death, Lil C's, who was Biggie's best friend, said he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with the money he was getting. He wanted to set up his own record label because that's where the real money is. And apparently, P. Diddy had bought the publishing rights to the notorious B.I.G's whole album collection. So he's invested in Biggie's stock. And when Biggie died, the album sales went through the roof. Not one person on planet Earth benefited more financially from the death of the notorious B.I.G than P. Diddy. The motive was there. I'm not saying he actually did kill the guy, but there's enough reason to wonder. And in fact, most of the artists P. Diddy's worked with have said the guy is like a slave driver, right? Like you get minimal return for maximum effort and he creams everything. Even Mace, who you've seen perform with P. Diddy countless times, he got fucked by the guy. And this is someone who's supposed to be his friend. And only recently has P. Diddy all of a sudden relinquished the publishing back to the artists when he's had decades of creaming in all the profits. It's like using it all up till it's not even worth anything anymore and then going, there you go. And this bodyguard who worked for P. Diddy has actually spoken out about what P. Diddy was saying about Tupac and Big and the idea of them dying before it even happened.
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money. But something gotta change. I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. And he took upstairs, he turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me and Bun was like, yo, that nigga said Big.
And the wildest thing about that quote is Suge ended up in jail, Pac and Big died. Everything that P. Diddy wanted from the scenario that he just plucked out of thin air. And sometimes when people do that, it's because that's what he's craving. So again, more reason to wonder. And it's a well-known fact that P. Diddy had like off-duty police officers on the payroll doing security with him. So it's the only logical reason why P. Diddy has not been fully investigated for either of these murders. I don't know how much longer this guy can keep the wolves from the door because you've now got multiple women coming forward. You've got Keefe D the guy who literally was in the car when Tupac was killed, saying P Diddy was the one who offered us the money. How is this man still a free man? The answer is money. He's clearly paying everyone and anyone off, just like he's done with Cassie. And here's another story of P Diddy flexing his power on Cassie.
Cassie right here. The nigga jumped off the bar, came over and said, yo, Cassie, tomorrow, I want you to shave the side of your head. And I was like, what the fuck kind of request is that? So when I'm like, what the fuck? So when I look up there, this white woman's side of her head was shaved, my nigga. And the bitch looked good with it. So I was looking at Cassie, I was like, I was like, you're not about to do that, are you? She said, well, I mean, whatever Sean wants, I'm gonna do.
In the grand scheme of things, I know that that isn't the worst thing ever in the world, but it just adds to the storyline that we're hearing is being painted from every different angle of this woman would just do whatever he told her to. She had no individuality left by the time this guy was done with her. And here's P Diddy talking with Cassie back in the day about how he's such a supportive record producer.
When you sign somebody that's young, you have to be there with them through their ups and their downs. My homegirl Cassie right here, she had a I would say it was a whack show. She had a pretty whack show on BET. Did not perform at the level of the Bad Boy excellence.
Literally just disrespecting that openly in front of her face with no fucks given. It does get worse.
It's very important that y'all understand that Bad Boy, we with our artists through their growth period, through their bad shows, through their good shows. We love them when their records are hot. We love them when they trip and fall. At Bad Boy, we there for people through ups and downs.
So many record label artists from Bad Boy have come out and sued him, complained. I don't think you can find an artist with a good word to say about this guy. Is it crack that you're on, mate? Because you're talking shit. He's just a fucking arsehole, isn't he? And actually, for women, he seems like their worst nightmare because he's inescapable. He doesn't just get his claws into them in a relationship sense. He literally owns them as an artist as well. God knows what this must have been like for this poor girl. Thank God this got settled quickly, because as much as I want to see this guy get justice someday, I don't know if she would have had the strength to go through a lawsuit against this guy. He's a real piece of shit. This clip is taken from an interview with Kirk Burroughs, who was the president of Bad Boy Entertainment, literally helped build the company into what it was with P Diddy. And I'll not play the whole clip for you, but as you can see by the title here, they weren't best friends like Puffy claims. He's lying about the relationship. This was a thing that P Diddy did post-death to, I think, help his own celebrity. Like, the more I play into I'm Big's best friend and it's really hurting me that he's dead, the more people will empathize with me, and the more I'll then get some of that cachet that Biggie had as a celebrity. It's for his own benefit, as was help building the career of Big for his own benefit. This wasn't charity, and it never is with P Diddy. And the guy also goes on to explain that he himself, who had 25% ownership in Bad Boy, was forced to relinquish that to P Diddy through being threatened. He had a room full of people with bats in their hands saying either your face or your name is going to be on the contract, so give me that 25%. P Diddy's not the best guy to go in the business with. And the ironic thing is although he paid Cassie's claim off within 24 hours of it going in, initially he put out a statement saying he vehemently denied these offensive and outrageous allegations. And yet, just less than 24 hours later, I had a change of heart. Turns out they're actually pretty bang on then. Better pay this. There's just too much smoke here, man.
Gene resurfaced, where Gene spoke about how he used to put pause on his baby mama and then girlfriend, Misa Hilton.
I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous now, because I'm literally going down and seeing more video clips of other women. This is another baby mama who another bodyguard has said that he's seen P Diddy beating her up. Insane. How does this guy stay out of trouble? And I guess we'll round this up by showing a little clip from P Diddy's time on Making the Band. Was an MTV show where a group of kids were trying to be scouted by him as talent, and as part of it, he told them that they had to walk 6 hours to get him some cheesecake.
I'm starving too. You know something? I want me a piece of cheesecake. Do you know where to get the cheesecake spot is at? Yeah. And y'all can walk from here, get the cheesecake, see the city, enjoy the sights, would you? It's not about me trying to do a mean-spirited initiation hazing act to them. It's a bigger picture to it. In the world of music, I gotta get up every day and do a bunch of that I don't wanna do. I gotta bite my tongue and I gotta do it with a smile on my face. But I do want some cheesecake. Somebody Somebody gonna quit. Somebody ain't got the heart, the stamina to be bad boy. Somebody ain't got the passion, the drive.
What a prick. That was P Diddy and all of the details surrounding the allegations about him. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the True Geordie YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one.